MapleWoodian.com podcast. We have on the phone Michael Goldberg. He is one of the great organizers of Firstnight. How you doing, Michael?
I'm well, thanks.
And now this is a return to Firstnight, right? We haven't seen Firstnight in 3 years?
2 years, yeah. It'd been going on for almost 20 years
now,
and then the organizers, got 2 years. There's been no night locally, that's correct.
And I think a lot of it was because of Hurricane Sandy killed it the first time out, that it wasn't held.
Yeah, 2012 and 2013, correct, were the 2 years it wasn't held.
So now we're going to be back on Wednesday, which is New Year's Eve, of course. It's going to be 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Columbia High School. And now this was always started really as sort of a non-alcoholic option for people who wanted to go out and have fun, but not having to go to somewhere where there's drinking, which has really become a New Year's Eve thing until Firstnight was started. What's sort of the effort behind it from what you see?
Yeah, I mean, that was certainly the genesis of it. I mean, it started back in Boston in the late 70s, as I understand it. And then they brought it here to Maplewood and South Orange. And it's meant to be kind of a family-friendly, community-wide celebration of the arts, of everything, to spend it with the community. It doesn't have to be the wild and crazy New Year's Eve of tradition. We're going from 5 to 10, as you said, so if, there are adults that want to go out afterwards, hey, we have no objection to that. It's just not part of the program that we're presenting. As part of being Firstnight, it's more of a family-oriented activity.
And, of course, people who want to get more information, we'll have a link on our site here with this interview, but it's firstnightmwso.org. And I know the schedule just came out the other day, which has a wide variety of stuff for kids, music, and crafts. And why don't you give people sort of your overall view, how you see the events for those who might be interested?
Yeah, so we really wanted to have something for everyone, right? I mean, people think, it's just for kids. I don't have kids. What am I going to do? So there's definitely stuff for adults. There's definitely stuff for kids. And for the first time this year, we have a DJ. So we're trying to gear for the teen audience, which has kind of been the hardest demographic to capture. So we're hoping, teens don't want to hang out with their parents. We get that, but there'll be a really cool DJ in one of the gyms playing music just for teens, and we hope they'll come and hang out and dance and do their thing. We have Lisa Liu, who does a kind of a circus performer. She'll be doing both a performance as well as a workshop, and the workshop is more of a hands-on, interactive session where she'll teach people how to do some of the different things, plate spinning and other acrobatic acts that people can participate in hands-on. We have a magician named Simon Mandel, who's recently just playing for the Clinton Foundation, so apparently
excellent
recognition. We have a hip-hop dance troupe. We have Rizzo's Reptiles, Doc Swan, who's sort of a comedian/magician. A guy named Jack Ryan, who's known as the Hoop Wizard, does all kinds of acrobatics with basketballs. Mr. Ray, who's pretty well known locally, is a guitarist and has a full band for largely kids' music, but is a musician in his own right. He used to play with a band called Cats on a Smooth Surface, and he'll be there. We have dancers called Crazy Rhythm Fancy Feet. I believe they're going to be trying to do some dance lessons as well and trying to teach people some dance moves and all different forms of dance, the Charleston, the swing, salsa, et cetera, et cetera. So we're excited to have them. Roaming the hallways will be what we call variety artist. I believe he's a stilt walker, a juggler, unicyclist, all those types of things. He'll be roaming around. Local performer, the SMA Project, which is the acoustic version of Mood Ring. Steve and Mike Choi, local residents.
Right, and if anyone knows Maplewood area music, they know Mood Ring is big here. They've played it, I believe, at Maple Woodstock and other performances.
Yeah.
So that's a great group. Now, the other one that a lot of people are noticing, the Nerds. Now, that's for those who don't know the Nerds, they're big.
That was gonna be my crescendo.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to leave them out because I know they're well known.
Wouldn't miss that. No, but that's great. I'll jump to that. So, in addition, we have some other workshops. We have Maplewood Karate. We have Zumba. We have yoga. If people want to do interactive stuff, there'll be some crafts. And again, as you alluded to, our big headliner is the Nerds, who many people are familiar with. Been playing together for almost 30 years. They're most famous for playing the the shore club scene, and have played many of the different clubs down the shore for many years. The greatest cover band, greatest party band you'll ever see.
So they'll play, and people should know, if they never heard of the Nerds, the music that they're going to play is going to be music you've probably heard.
Absolutely.
As a cover band, so they play a lot of different variety.
Covers of songs everybody knows, with their own spin on it. Bohemian Rhapsody, and Seen Some Italian Restaurant, and Sweet Caroline are some of their most popular ones. And you do a quick search on YouTube, and you'll see many of these performances. And they just put on a show like nobody else, even after all these years. And we're really excited. We're getting a lot of excitement from people and a lot of great response.
And the great thing, the great thing I think about Firstnight is, first of all, it's right in our town, so you don't have to go out and brave the highways on what many people call amateur night for drunk driving. We all live within only a short drive or walk of the high school, so you're not dealing with that. And it's really much a house party. I mean, there's not a lot of places you can go on New Year's Eve or any other night where you can have so many different. You go to one thing for one time, then you go down the hall, and there's another thing, and there's music over here, then you go to this crafts here. I mean, and you get to see the high school. If you've never been in Columbia High School, it's a real nice little sort of tour of the high school, too.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Joe. I completely agree. I mean, we're taking over the ground floor of the high school and the lower level where the cafeteria is. So the East Gym, the West Gym, the main gym, the auditorium, some of the classrooms, the art studio, the dance studio, the Black Box Theater, and then down on the main level, or the lower level, the cafeteria, we're having a number of local restaurants are going to be selling food as well. So we hope people will come for the night. Come at 5 o'clock, watch some entertainment, go get a bite to eat, watch some more entertainment, and come and stay for the night. And then at the end, the grand finale is fireworks outside.
Yes.
And just talking really quickly about some of the food vendors.
Please.
Again, Arioshi, Munchies, Dancing Blender, Tito's Burritos, and Walia will be selling food, as well as the Boy Scouts are doing a bake sale, and I believe will possibly also be selling pizza in case any of those other options don't appeal to some of the youngest kids.
Well, anyone who has... First of all, I think you mentioned this at the Township Committee meeting, that there are no Maplewood food vendors. But that isn't because you didn't want them. It's because they for some reason, didn't take part. So for our Maplewood audience, it is a great chance to check out South Orange food. And I have already become a big Tito Burrito and Dancing Blender and Arioshi fan. Those are three of our favorites for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we wanted to obviously appeal to or attract merchants and vendors from both towns. And these are the folks who step forward. So, hey, great. We certainly approached restaurants in Maplewood.
Sure.
But these were the people that were able to participate. It's always a tough night, for restaurants because getting staff is a challenge,
right.
And all that. So I totally understand.
But yeah, I think for a lot of our Maplewood readers, we cover Maplewood, it's a great chance to check out a lot of the South Orange food, which is really good stuff. And what is now? It's $20 a head to get in and take advantage of all the great stuff.
Correct.
Can people still buy in advance, or do they have to buy the day of?
So we were doing a pre-sale
right.
At some of the local merchants, but that's now stopped. We had to collect all the
sure,
materials.
That makes sense.
So you can buy tickets at the door for $20 in cash, or you can go online right now and buy tickets or wristbands on our website at firstnightmwso.org. There's an additional $1 per ticket surcharge, just simply to cover the processing charge that we have to pay.
Yes.
It's sort of a pass-through there. But it's the convenience factor. That way when you show up at Columbia High School, you just, show your ID, grab your wristband, and head on in, as opposed to waiting online and paying cash. So we think it'll be a little faster.
And now at Columbia, if you go the night of, it's cash only? can you charge?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, people can, if they don't have cash, they can pull out their smartphone or their iPad or their computer and go to our website. We're going to keep that open.
Okay. But they would still be buying online that way.
They'd still be buying online, correct. If they show up and realize, oops, I don't have any cash, they can whip up their phone and buy right there via the website, and then we'll just, it's a real-time transaction, and we'll hand them the wristband right then and there.
Or they can always run across the street to 7-Eleven, which has an ATM, I believe.
That's always an option.
Or down to Pathmark, which is also slightly across the street, and they have ATM as well. So I don't think there's any. But we want to let people know that if they do not have cash, they should remember to bring cash, make it easy on themselves the night of.
Correct.
And that again. Now, and you can buy if you show up after 5, you show up 6, 7, 8 o'clock. You could still get in any hour, correct or no?
Absolutely. We're going to have folks at the door all night,
right?
Because we know people are going to, stagger their attendance.
Right.
Some people are going to come earlier. Some people are going to come later, and that's fine. We'd love for people to come the whole night, but we also understand. We want to have people. The whole point is to come and go and have that flexibility. Go to the performances you want, and make the event what you want it to be.
The fireworks will be about 10:15.
Correct. Shortly after 10 o'clock, out on Ritzer Field.
Right. Oh, we've been there. It's fun.
Outside the high school. That's correct.
And now, just for the financial aspect, is this a fundraiser? Is this where your costs are covered by the fees you charge? Is it? Do you lose money that is made up with your sponsors? What's sort of the financial setup?
So it's a total. We're obviously a not-for-profit.
Right.
We're not raising money per se, except for this event. The prior boards, prior years, did have some money in the bank when we started. So
right.
Helped us, allowed us to spend the money on decorations and deposits and insurance and all the other things that we needed to take care of, all the promotional materials and so on. We've raised money from sponsors that are helping to offset the cost of the event, and then the balance is obviously covered through ticket sales. We're paying all of our performers, right? So we clearly need money for that. And like I said, the decorations, the promotion, those things. Everybody working, from myself and the entire board, the volunteers, we're all volunteers.
Right.
None of us are taking a dime. We're doing it to support the community. We also, in addition to the core board that's sort of been the work, the workhorses, the core group that's been planning this thing for over 6 months, we have an enormous amount of volunteers that are going to be there that night to help show people around, help the performers understand where to go, help us with checking tickets at the door, all those types of logistical items. So it's as I said, in Maplewood, it's the proverbial it takes a village and a township.
Yes, there you go. And what is sort of the overall budget for this, if I can ask? Ballpark.
We're probably in the $40,000 range, all in.
And you have a couple big sponsors as well, correct?
Yeah. So our main sponsors are.
We give them a plug, but they're also on the website.
Yeah,
both townships.
Because they've been incredibly generous. BCB Bank, Atlantic Health, the Village of South Orange. Township of Maplewood is providing all the in-kind services of police and fire and other logistics. The Gateway in South Orange, the new apartment building there, is our sponsor for the fireworks.
I see that.
Maple Crest Ford is the sponsor of what we're calling our Kids Zone, which is our balloon twister and face painter and those types of activities for the kids.
And I know I'm a proud owner of a Maple Crest Ford vehicle, so we like them. Anonymous friend of Firstnight. Now, who is that? It's obviously an anonymous friend, but where did that come from?
Yeah, it's an organization that does not want to be named.
It's
been a repeated donor to Firstnight for many, many years. And we, went back to them. They've been a supporter in the past, and they said, "Yep, count us in again." They again didn't want to be named.
This is an organization people would know that they would have heard of.
No.
No. Okay. We won't ask anymore.
No, because they want to remain anonymous.
That's excellent.
They were, to be quite honest, but we're incredibly grateful for this.
That's great. And then the Gateway, now they're sponsoring the fireworks. How much is the fireworks costing? We know that's not cheap.
Yeah, well, again, I don't think we don't need to get into the specifics of which sponsor is providing, but yeah, they're underwriting the majority of the cost of the fireworks.
But you still need people to pay and put their money in to make all the costs covered, obviously. And,
sure, yeah,
and to be involved.
Like most things, the sponsors are offsetting the costs. Right? We're able to get an act like the Nerds and get Mr. Ray and some of the bigger named acts, through the generosity of the sponsors.
Oh, very fun. And as anyone who reads MapleWoodian.com knows, I am a fierce critic of people who go and see fireworks but do not pay. And during the 4th of July, which has no sponsors for fireworks, which is a whole other issue, I have continually rallied against that, the people who will show up and watch and not pay, because they're basically stealing. And I would offer the same criticism to people who will come to Firstnight fireworks and not pay, because you're essentially stealing fireworks, in my view. So even if you just want to come by for fireworks, pay your part.
We're hoping people will come for the whole evening.
Of course.
It's a mission. And I can't imagine people are going to come just for the fireworks, but, that we can't control.
Right, but if they do, they have to, if you're standing outside the fence, to me, you're as bad as anyone trying to sneak in, because you're basically getting something for nothing. And if people do that, then the money doesn't get raised and these events can't be held. But it sounds like you're going to have a great turnout. It sounds like weather is going to be not terrible. It'll be chilly, but there's been years where it's sub-zero freezing. People don't even want to go out of their house. I don't think that's going to be the case this week.
Correct. And our big fear was snow, right? That's always been
snow will stay away too. So
snow at all. So I think we're in good shape. Cold, that's okay. We're gonna
it's January. That's what we're gonna expect, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Michael Goldberg, the organizer of Firstnight South Orange Maplewood. Maplewood South Orange is the way I prefer it, and that will be New Year's Eve, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Check out the website, Firstnight, mwso.org, for all the information. Show up, get your tickets, and you basically can roam the high school and see all the great events and food, and it'll be a good time.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, and thank you for talking, and good luck.
Thank you very much.